Can this scrub your air clean? Let's find out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm looking at this. This is the OKSO, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, OKSO AirSlim 6C Air Purifier. The first thing I want to say is it's really light, but it's actually a really cool little device. So let me tell you, it has a 4-stage filtration system. The whole concept is it's going to pull in dirty air and scrub it clean and then push the clean air out of the top. Okay, seems pretty straightforward. There's a bunch of controls on the top. We'll come back to them. Let me start by telling you about the filtration system. So it is 4 stages. At the outermost level, it has a filtration trap, which catches hair and pollen, all that sort of junk. Then you have a HEPA filter. Then you have an antimicrobial filter, and then you have activated carbon filter in the middle of all of that. So let's have a quick look at what that all looks like. And it turns out you get to it by, ta-da, popping it open. And then here's the whole filtration system. And you immediately are gonna say, aha, but this is like ink cartridges, right? So these filters cost $150. No, actually, they're going to be $13.99 on their website, and I'll come back to that in a bit. But if you look, you can't really see very easily, but there's a variety of different filters and screens and such going on here. So the outermost, there's a screen, and then there's sort of the vertical lines of a filter, and then on the inside, you can just barely see the black. That's the activated charcoal. I'm not sure what unactivated charcoal is, but that's about it. And then otherwise, it's a super simple assembly. There's just a couple of lights at the bottom and power. So we put this back in. Let's see if I can do this the right way. Let's see. So you put this on the top part, or maybe you put it in the bottom part first, then you put it in the top part and you screw it closed. We're good to go. So, super easy. Now, on the top, there are 4 controls that give you various levels of functionality, the most important of which is power. So now, can you hear? So it's on, it's now cleaning my air, and there's 3 power levels. So that's the lowest level. Then there's a medium level. Actually, I'm sorry, there's 4 speed settings. So even at its loudest, it's super duper quiet. And there are also what they call night light settings, because you can't really see, but here, maybe I can give you some shade so you can see. There's a blue light at the bottom. We saw the bulbs when I opened it up. So that you have some level of control over. And on the top, there are lights, and if I push the button, I can change the brightness of those. Again, I know that's hard to see. And then they have this light mode, which looks to me like some sort of way of communicating with aliens, because it basically just changes which lights are on, but there's no way to actually have this have 0 illumination. So that's one issue that I know some people have with this particular air filter, which is they want to have it in their bedroom, but there's no way to have all the lights off. Now you can do that by covering up the bottom, but then you're missing out on some of its ability to pull air through, and so you're affecting its filtration. So that's not a good solution. So from a design perspective, there'd be nice if there was a go completely dark mode. Not there, maybe it will be in a future version. Okay, so it's spec'd to filter a 172 square foot room, which is a pretty nice sized bedroom or main living area. If you have a small apartment, that could cover most of your apartment. And it does work, but let me show you. It's kind of tricky to show you how this works. So I was thinking about it and I thought, maybe I can have something that produces smoke and then we can see what happens to the smoke. So my first thought was, well, we're not going to use that match. That one didn't actually have a tip on it. In fact, all my matches are being weird. That one looks good. Okay, we'll get rid of all these. We'll go here. So my first thought was, let me light a candle. If I can light the match. There we go. So we light the match. And then I thought I'd light a candle, and then the smoke from the candle would then, you'd be able to see, or even like the smoke from the match, you'd be able to see it pulling. You can see it's pulling towards the device. So that's good, because you want it to be pulling in some air, right? But the candle itself that I have doesn't produce any smoke, so that doesn't work. Instead, being a former hippie, not really, but we're gonna roll with that. I have incense. So incense actually works by producing smoke. In fact, the candle, I don't know if you can see it, but it's still producing smoke now. When you blow out a candle, the carbon that's left on the wick actually produces smoke for a very short period of time. Many people, what they do is they just lick your fingers and touch the wick, and so it's done, but we just filtered it, so that was better. But now let's try with incense instead, right? So incense gives us two features. Number one, it's smoky because it's the actual chemicals and materials in the incense that are causing the smell. But it also gives us the ability to test the properties of this filter actually pulling that smell out. So I'm gonna do that, and now can you see all that glorious smoke? Now watch where the smoke's going. You see that? So it's pretty interesting because you don't see it all immediately sucked into this device. And so I can see smoke up here and all around here, and it's pretty independent of where I put it. So I thought, maybe it's because it needs to be higher. So if we do this, I'm still seeing the smoke all over the place. Some of it's getting pulled into the system, but you know, this is not an industrial air cleaning system. This is not gonna pull all the air and you're gonna just see it all zoom towards the device. What I will say is that having this next to my incense has made my incense way less effective. And that means that it's working. So what's happening is that it's not pulling all the smoke in directly, but over time it's cleaning the air by pulling all the air through the filtration system and out the top. And if I put my hand here, I can feel some air coming out. And it's a little cool because that's just sort of the nature of these systems, but it's not doing anything with temperature, it's not designed to, but it is giving me, or at least theoretically is giving me cleaner air. Now, I will say my experience with it is pretty good. It's a small unit, it's designed for small spaces. This could be good maybe to have in your office if you're in a cubicle farm and there's a lot of toxic chemicals or people smoke. I don't know what country you'd be in that people would be smoking at work, or maybe at a bar or something, you have a back room that you want to have a little bit cleaner. So smaller spaces, this can work really well, and it does work. It does clean your air. I am giving it probably the hardest possible task by having my incense right there, and it's all like coming right into my face, so it's a lot of incense. In fact, you know what? Hang on just a second. Let's like get this thing to stop burning. Okay, so I think we're good there. Let's see. There's a little bit coming off of the nose, but we'll just leave it right at the bottom and let the OK Sous actually clean that air. Now, obviously, again, this is an extreme challenge. This is like extreme air filtering and purifying, is to give it something like incense, but it does a pretty good job. You know, I'm not super thrilled with this product. I think that there are some issues with like the lights that I think they needed to have worked on, but it is a nice, simple solution, and at the price, it can be a really great benefit for people that have less than great air quality. This is a perfect thing to have by your bedside, especially when you have it on one of the lower settings, because it's really pretty quiet. I mean, you're not going to even be aware this thing is running, and it'll just keep your bedroom cleaner. This could be great for babies or anyone that has any issues where they have pollen-related allergies or they get congested while they're sleeping. Something like this can be really good. And like I said, the filters themselves, super easy to put in, and they're going to run about $13.99. This is all just coming onto the market right now. So let's talk about price. But before we talk about price, let me ask if you can subscribe to my channel. It's a little red square floating down on the lower right. Just go and click on it if you want, and subscribe to my channel. Give me some feedback on this. Give me some ideas on next time how we can have a better smoke production system so we can really see what happens. Then we can have the discussion of whether that's a valid way to test it. That's another story. Anyway, okay, this is the OK Sous AirSlim 6C air purifier, and it will cost you $59.98 at Amazon.com. The filters will be $13.99, and they will be on Amazon.com, but if you want to check them out, you can just go to OKSous.com and learn about them too. So, this is Dave Taylor. I'm going to breathe in what's left of the incense, and that means I'll catch you in my next video.